Hey guys, it's your girl Kay the Bookworm. If you're listening on my podcast, it is Kay Renee, and welcome back to my channel or my podcast. In today's episode, I have a very special guest with me. She is a brand new author that I discovered last year, and how I discovered her was at work. Me and my friend Tiffany, you guys already know who that is. We're talking about books, and she mentioned Saving Sunflower to me, and I saw the cover. I saw the synopsis, and I was like, okay, sounds good. Not my cup of tea, to be honest, but I was like, sounds good. So let me go ahead and read. It was a slow burn, but oh my god, that book is the book of the year.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you so much.
you're welcome. Saving Sunflower was amazing, and also happy release day because her new book that we just recorded just came out this morning, The End Game, which is a perfect way to start Super Bowl Sunday. It is a continuation from Saving Sunflower. I just got done like legit maybe 5 minutes ago, and oh my gosh, you have another hit on your hands.
Thank you so much.
And ladies and gentlemen, I have with me Miss Rae Lyse. So how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. It's my release day, so I'm feeling really good right now.
Mine is tomorrow, and I'm nervous as hell.
Oh my goodness. Ah,
Yes, mine is
really
tomorrow.
nerve wracking.
I'm
It's
like,
nerve wracking.
I'm excited yet nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I know people I'm a list, like I'm gonna read it and stuff. Like my family, like a lot of my family called this morning and were just like, I saw your book. So when is it going to be released? And my friend's like, so when am I gonna get a hardback copy? I was like, can you like get them on Kindle first, and then I'll let you know when the hardback copies come? Like, calm down. What are you under pressure?
This is only the beginning. This is
Uh,
only the beginning. Happy early release day, by the way.
I appreciate it. By the time you guys listen to this, my release will already be out. I did post an episode today on a podcast about my nervousness and my excitement. So by the time you listen to this will already be out. But my question to you is, before we even get into how you started reading, did you expect Saving Sunflower to get the response that it did?
Absolutely not. Not at all. I thought it was just gonna be something where maybe I got a few reviews and a few eyes on, and people would just kind of overlook it, and then I would have to, continue writing and build an audience. So, I mean, I'm completely shocked. I'm still in shock, actually.
When I tell you that book is all over like every book club that I walk like, and I not even watch every book club that I follow on Instagram and Facebook is ridiculous.
I'm even shocked whenever I just happen to come across it, like when I open Facebook or Instagram and somebody's posting about it. I'm like, oh, that's my book.
It was it honestly was nothing that I've ever read before. And I'm a huge avid reader, especially when it comes to urban fiction. I'm huge fans of Ashley and Jacquemus Coleman,
Uh-huh.
um, Cian Phillips. I'm a huge fan of theirs. But your book, normally when you read their books, they're like very fast paced. Your book was a slow burn urban fiction was something totally new to me.
Really,
Yes.
really.
Because normally when I think of urban fiction, I think of fast paced. Yeah, you have some drama here and there, blah blah blah. Low key lots of
Uh-huh.
sex in it, but with yours, it was a very slow burn. Um, I was telling my friend Tiffany, you definitely have to really you can't read it. You can't get towards it and say I'm done with it. You actually have to sit down and read it because it's
Yeah.
a slow burn. But at the same time, you like it drawn you to Dominique, and you felt his pain about him and his mom and the situation that he went through. You felt close Claudette's pain, and just being a. I'm going to be honest with you because at the same time she was looking kind of naive.
Mhm.
She makes up for it. She definitely makes up for it in the end game though, for
Mhm.
sure. But she was naive
Mhm.
girl who first like Dominique was her first and everything, and you had Autumn, who was a hating ass friend. You know, a hating ass friend, but at the same time, you understood that she was just looking out for her.
Right, right. And Autumn had her own trauma too. So I mean that went into it as well. But I'm definitely glad to hear that it was something different for you, because I get what you mean about urban fiction. It is very, very fast paced. And that was something that I was kind of missing, I guess, in urban fiction, because I had stopped reading urban fiction for a long time, actually, because I'm such a big slow burn like type of person. Like, I need to really like get to know the characters and stuff like that. And so the fast pace was just kind of wearing me down a little bit. I was like, I need something slow, but I could never find it. And so I had to take a break, and I was reading like a lot of contemporary romances and stuff like Nia Forrester and Love Belvin. And I was like, it would be so cool if somebody could merge the genres together and just, do like a slow burn urban fiction romance. And I could never find it. So I was like, let me just try to write it, because I need to read something like that.
Well, you definitely did do it. So my first question is, how did you get started into writing?
Ooh, I've been writing for a long time, actually. So I used to write when I was younger. And then for whatever reason, whenever I got into high school, I kind of stopped writing. I don't know what it was, but I just quit. And I didn't write anything other than stuff for school up until I started writing Saving Sunflower a year ago. So this was like my first jump back into writing. So it took a minute to get the groove back, because it was so long since I just sat down and tried to write something.
Wow. You said you wrote that book a year ago?
It took me an entire year to write Saving Sunflower.
Wow.
Yes, it's a long year.
So when it came to Dominic and Chloe, did the characters speak to you? Did you go through a life experience with meeting them, or like what? Because I saw in your about you that you are a social worker, or that you worked in social work before.
Yes, so my background is in social services, and right now I'm getting my master's in social work. So
Oh,
in May, I'll be a licensed social worker. Yeah. So I'm in the last semester of my master's program. But right now I work in social services anyways, and I see clients on a daily basis. So I run into a wide variety of people all the time. So it was kind of one of those things where, I mean, they came and they spoke to me, but I also used a lot of life experience and personal experiences as well to build on their characters and the other characters in the novel. Like they're all the characters are a combination of either people I know or people I've came across in my life, because that's what makes them realistic. None of the characters in the book are perfect. They all have their flaws. Just like how you said Chloe is naive. She is. She probably doesn't think she is, but she's naive.
like I said, she makes up for it in the end game. I feel as if like, and spoiler alert, if you have, well, I mean, because it just came out today, but don't listen to this podcast if you haven't read it yet, because I'm going to spoil some stuff in here. So I'm just giving you a head warning. So don't come in my comment telling me that I spoiled it for you, because I told you at the time I was going.
Fair warning.
Fair warning. When it came to Josiah and Jade,
mm-hmm.
two opposites, just like Dominic and Chloe, but at the same time they meshed together. I just want to say the age, like Josiah had to been like what, 20, maybe 20, 21 probably.
In the end game, he's 19.
Right. Oh, he was only 19.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. He had the spirit of an old head, and I guess because he's been around Dominic so long that he knew exactly what he needed to do when it came to Jade and her daughter, because he was that nigga.
Yes.
Like, especially the bathroom scene when he told Brandon about himself.
Yes.
He was that nigga. And I was like, talk your shit.
Yes, it had to be done. Brandon needed that. He needed to hear it.
Because the thing that got me was the park scene with her. Like, he tried to be, I guess trying to be a parent, and Journey turned his ass, basically told him no every chance he got, which I thought was hilarious. And in this the fight of saying like, I never asked for this, like I didn't ask to be a father. Like in my head, like, dude, she didn't ask to be your mom either, but she's one.
Exactly. Whenever you have sex and you're dating someone, just know that that's a possibility. So nobody asked. I mean, nobody asked for it. It happened. So, you have to step up. But he showed that he didn't think it was in his cards. He thought he could continue living a carefree college life.
Very carefree, but then at the same time, he was one of those dudes that like, if I can't have you, nobody can. Like the girl went out to a party just to have fun, and then you coming at me talking about why am I not home with your daughter? Nigga, why ain't you at home then?
Oh,
I was like, dude.
I feel that part of Brandon's character is something I witnessed a lot too, which I'm sure a lot of people have come across guys like that where they have a child, they're not quite in the child's life, but they don't want to see the child's mother live their own life and move forward.
Yes, I have some very close friends of mine that are going through that right now, and I just feel like it's sick because like I'm raising your child, but yet you can have all the fun in the world. But the 1 minute I want to have fun is a problem. I don't
Exactly.
I can't understand that. But at the same time, I also felt even with Dominic and his situation with his mom, he felt like he had to be there to support her. And I feel as if in Saving Sunflower, you got to see the layers when it came to Dominic. And then in the end game, we got to see him like kind of like grow up. I will kind of put it, you got to see him grow up, mature a lot better than he was when it came to Sunflower. Because in Sunflower, he was very reckless. But at the sense, you understood why he was reckless because he didn't have that structure. Granted, Diane did try to do everything she could, but even she said once she came to the doorstep, he was already a lost cause. So I felt as if having all of that pressure on him and still the situation that happened, still having that pressure on him, and then with Josiah, and you get to see his reasoning and why he did what he did when it came to killing that dude. It was just like, do I let it vengeance? Like, do I get the vengeance of my first love, or do I have to kill my best friend in the process?
Right.
And that's a lot for a 19-year-old to deal with.
It definitely is. And I also feel like with Josiah, we also got to peel back a lot of layers with him because at the beginning, he's really guarded with Jade. He doesn't share a whole lot. I think the first time he actually started sharing anything with her was the scene where he has the starburst.
Yes.
And so, yes, that's the first time he opens up. And even then, he kind of opens up a little and then he shuts down again. So even with him, we're peeling back layers. And we also see the growth with Dominic and how, the backstory with him and Dominic. Dominic is the one who taught him, this is what you're supposed to do if anything like this ever happens. And so then we get to see, a lot of different, like the after effects, the remorse. Even Dominic feels the remorse because really and truly, he's the reason kind of why Josiah did what he did. Even though Josiah had a choice, but, Josiah looks up to Dominic, so.
Yeah, so he was basically following what he basically was doing. I also love that Dominic and Josiah, like they're the same, but they're different at the same instance. But Dominic, he was doing stuff that he knew that he never should have did, but yet he kept doing it. If that makes sense. With Josiah, he did the same thing, but yet at the same time, I feel as if Josiah had more logical sense. Like he's like, I know I'm not supposed to do this shit, and I'm thinking about the consequences, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If that makes sense. And then both of them together, they were both basically telling, like with Dom and Chloe and Jade and Josiah and Dom are both telling them, why are you with me? Why do you want to be with me? Like, what is it about me that you want? I'm a fuck nigga. I'm no good. I'm no this. They were basically self-sabotaging their own relationship before they even became a relationship.
Right.
And I don't think they really noticed that.
No, that's the impact of that trauma, self-sabotaging. They feel like that they're not good enough to be loved, and it's a lot, especially with Josiah and his first love getting killed. That's a lot for somebody that young to go through. and then for you to turn around and avenge her death, and then after you do it, it hits him after he does it, and he's like, "Shit, I really fucked up."
Mm-hmm. And I love the conversations of her, like in his head, every chance he got to think about it, like she was in her head, basically saying like, "Bro, what are you doing? Like, you're here to focus, 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 focus. Like, don't be messing up." It also showed
Oh yeah.
that Josiah was a sophomore on a fifth grade reading level.
Yes, yes. I really, really wanted to shed light on that part of the story because it's so common. It's super, super common. You know, they bring these boys to these schools. They're bringing them there to play, to win championships, to do all these great things, to bring money to the school. But at the same time, the majority of them can hardly read or write because they're so used to just them being the football player or the basketball player. They don't have to worry about that.
But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, after reading that, I had to go back and reread. I said, what? It's like, how did he get into college?
A lot of them are so you see the backstory also with coach. So a lot of times the coaches, they're behind all of it. You know, they'll find a way to get that boy into the program if he's worth the trouble.
That's facts.
So right. So they'll find a way. I think in there, there's a part, where he talks about how coach found like proxies to get him his passing, SAT, ACT scores.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just like, you're saying, the coach really pissed me off because he was just like, I did this and this and this to get you here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so why am I here?
Mm-hmm.
If you got to put me through all of this, then why am I here? I'm sorry.
Right.
Better than me because I would have cussed him out and left. I'm sorry. Because it made no sense for him to do all of that. Granted, some stuff that Josiah did was kind of dumb. Not gonna lie and say it wasn't. I felt that he should have told somebody, especially with him going back home. He should have told somebody instead of just like leaving. That I agree with. Granted, at the same time, I don't even think if he did tell the coach, I don't even think the coach probably would have cared.
No, because coach is all about winning. He's all about money, championship winning.
It is sad that some of these college players now are still going through that. Like, they might look good on TV, but at the same time, they might be even on a lower reading level than Josiah was.
Yep. It's tons of articles out there that you can read about. All the shifty stuff that they do, the players who come from nothing, they bring them to the school. They'll pass them along. Most of the time they can't read, they can't write. And then whenever they get injured, then what? They can't play anymore. They don't have a degree to fall back on, or if they do get a degree, it's in something useless. So you spend all your time in college playing, getting all these accolades, winning these championships, and you graduate with this useless degree, and you didn't make it to the NFL because the majority of them won't even go to the NFL, which is what Dominic is constantly trying to pound into Josiah's head. Like, most people don't even make it into the NFL, so don't bank on that.
And I honestly think Josiah, because of all the stuff that he went through, if I'm being honest, and this is my personal opinion, I honestly don't even think Josiah really wanted to be there. Because he felt as if like, I'm just here, just let me pass and call it a day. Because his mindset wasn't where it needed to be. Even before he met, even when he met Jade, his mindset still wasn't there. It wasn't until like he actually, I think, to me, it wasn't until he went home to handle stuff that he needed to handle. That's when his mindset was like, all right, cool, I need to get my shit together. If I don't, then I'm gonna lose her, like, for sure.
Right. Jade was like the catalyst,
just how Chloe was to Dawn.
Right. Because even at a certain point, Josiah, he kind of felt as if he was so adamant about telling Jay, I'm not dumb, I'm not a dummy, but he had that self-doubt there, whenever he was struggling to complete that midterm. it was like constantly in his head, like, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. But Jade was like in his head, like, yes you can, because she had instilled that in him. That was something that was never instilled in him before.
And I just thought that was so beautiful just to have that there in the back of his head. Even like Kiana was telling him like you could do it too, even though she wasn't there, like a guardian angel.
Yes, she definitely was. She was Jade before Jade.
Exactly.
And then they were, yes, and that was like his first relationship, and they were so young, and that's what he was trying to explain to Jade. He was like, she loved me before I even knew what love is, because we were so young, like.
And honestly, that's another thing. I love the fact that you have like truly. I don't know if people have told you this before, but if you probably got a comment like compliments or whatever. But I've never experienced or talked to anybody or been friends with anybody that's gone through the situation that Dom and Josiah have gone through. But I have been in Jade's shoes before when it came to having a father in her life. Now, granted, I do have a stepfather who is amazing. He's been in my life since the age of 2. But as far as like a real father, like a sperm, like I call him the sperm donor. I really don't give a fuck at this point. He's been out of my life since the age of 10. I'm 28. He came back in my life when I was like 25. Like 4 years ago. And I kind of felt that emptiness when it came to Jade. That's why I feel as if that's why she was like pressing, as well as Terry. I feel as if that's why she was pressing so hard for Jade to work things out with Brandon, so that Brandon wouldn't have to go through the same thing as Jade did when she was younger. But like,
Jade, I'm sorry, that's my dog.
But like Jade was telling Terry, there's only so much I can do.
Right.
I can't push him to be a father if he doesn't want to be a father.
Exactly. And I could kind of see, where Terry was coming from. I mean, I think towards the end, it was less about Brandon being in the picture, but it was more so she didn't want Jade to make the same mistakes that she made, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I got that at the dinner. I got that at the dinner when he tried to, like, when Josiah was trying to impress her. And she was just like, did you make him call, like, did you tell Journey to call you that? And he was like, no, I'm just doing, I'm just doing what Brandon needs to be doing. And Brandon's not doing it. I'm most definitely, like I told her before, like, they're not getting rid of me. Even if we're not together, I'm still going to be there for her. I just wish that, and this is just me, I just wish I would have got, like, if we would have got, like, a little bit, kind of like a scene with Jade and her father, to see how, like, that kind of dynamic would have went. Like, you don't come in my life 15 years, and then out of nowhere, when I graduate college, you want to pop back up and everything's fine. I would have loved to have a scene like that.
I thought about adding that in there, and I was thinking, I was like, oh, should I add it? Should I not add it? And then I was like, I said, I'm going to just leave it up in the air, because I was definitely going to go forward with it and write a scene like that. But by then I was like, I decided against it.
Yeah, that scene, I think that scene definitely would have been on. I've already cried. I think I cried like about a good bit in this book.
You did?
I did. Because it was so, like, it's like, even with Saving Sunflower, I think I said that, like I said in my video, this book is big.
It is.
I
cried while writing it, so don't feel bad. I cried while writing.
So when you read it on Kindle, it just seems like the pages just float because you don't stop reading it. So when I cried in Saving Sunflower when what scene was it? What scene was it? Oh, it was a scene when Dominic explained to Chloe exactly what happened with his mom. When Dom found out that she was pregnant. The scene where they were talking while he was in jail, like, every morning. That scene broke me down. I don't know why it did, but it did.
It makes you emotional. It does.
Oh God, I was just like, she is a real one. I don't think I would have did that. Like I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think I would have did that.
You wouldn't have?
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't know. I can't say I wouldn't have if I never been in that predicament.
True.
I'll say that. But every morning before she went, and he just wanted to make sure even when he was in jail, he made sure that she was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, that's love right there.
Definitely. So never say never.
To say that he never really experienced love like that. And he was in jail to make sure she was okay. When you got dudes out here who ain't in jail, with pregnant baby mamas, not even making sure they're fine and they live right up the street.
Exactly.
I was
that speaks on his character, though.
I was just like,
that speaks on his character.
He is a real one. And I also feel like Josiah. That's another thing Josiah did pick up from Dom. When it's time to step up as a man, no matter the age, just step up.
Exactly. Yes. And he touches on that, in that scene where he's talking to Dominic about remorse, and he's thinking, there's a secret that he keeps from Diane about how he'll never miss his father.
Yeah.
Basically because Dominic is his father. That's who taught him everything that he knows. That's who taught him how to be a man.
That's facts. Because even Jay said, he's like, I honestly thought you wasn't going to be here. Like, I'm surprised that you're still here. Because I told you I have a child. And he was just like, most dudes, like, why would you think that? Why would you think that? And she's like, because most dudes will run when I tell them I have a child. They don't even last a month.
Yep. They get close enough to sleep with her, and then after that they run because she has a baby.
And he was just like, I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not no type of nigga. I'm not going to run no matter what you say. Even if we're not together. Like, he said, you could be married to a lawyer nigga, a dorky nigga. I don't give a fuck. Just let him know. If you try, you just let him know you got shooters in the background.
Yeah. That's the Dominic impact.
I was like, what? Definitely a great book. Definitely a great follow-up, to be honest with you.
Thank you. I was definitely on pins and needles. I was worried.
Yeah, to me it was a great follow-up. Definitely we're doing a video, video of course for my month, but also just in general, I will just promote it because it was that good of a book.
Thank you so much.
Since you said you was on pins and needles, were you a little bit scared because of the praise David Sunflower get? You thought you wasn't really going to do good with the second book?
Yes, because whenever you really, and this is, you're a new author, so you're going to feel this too.
Oh, I'm feeling it now. Issue.
Huh?
I'm feeling it now. My book can't even come out yet.
Yes, you got people hitting you up like, okay, I'm ready. And then they start reading it, and then you have people saying, oh, I like it. And then you're like, okay, now I have to follow up with another one. I was definitely on pins and needles, but one thing with me, I try to write from the heart, and I feel like I'm pretty successful at that. And I know it's two sides to it. Some people say, oh, you should write every day, not just when you feel inspired. But I'm the type, I definitely have to feel inspired. It has to come from the heart. I have to feel it too. Like how you say you cry when you read certain scenes from Saved and Sunflower and certain scenes from the Endgame. I cried while writing them. That's how I know, I felt that in my chest. So I want people to feel that whenever they read what I write. So I was definitely on pins and needles. Like I felt this while writing it. And I was just like, I just hope people, are able to see my vision and see, what I'm the story that I'm trying to tell, I hope it resonates with people. So that's basically why I was on pins and needles, a little scared.
Well, to me, you did a great job. And I'm the same way. Like I said, with my book, I was honestly, to be honest with you, I was doing a whole nother book before this one even came out. I was working on my first book. I started back in 2019. And then when the pandemic hit, I had nothing else to do. I was supposed to do something for my birthday. Shit happens, couldn't do it. So I had an alternate plan, but I couldn't go there because, at the time, nobody was doing flights or anything. So I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. And then
Mhm.
this book came to me when I was at work one day. Like when a scene popped out of my head when I was at work. Wrote it out, sent it to friends. They liked it. They were just like,
Mhm.
so are you going to put it in your new book? Or are you going to put it in the book that you're doing now? Or no? And I thought about it. And I was like, no, I think I'm probably just going to do a whole other book. And I wrote my book in a month.
Oh, wow, that's quick. That's
Yeah.
quick.
I wrote a whole book in a month, and I'm so shocked at that. I was like, I wrote this book in a month.
That's something definitely to be proud of.
Cause I was just like, it seemed like it's crazy because I get it. I have to be inspired too. Like I let my character speak through me, or speak to me. I don't really.
Right.
I'm not an outline person. I do
Same.
like when I had seeing Phillips on my podcast last episode. I was asking her, does she do outlines? She said, no, I don't do outlines. I let them speak I let them speak, through me. And that's what I do with this one. I let them speak towards me. I do have, I write down some notes and stuff. But other than that, I just write when I feel like writing, which is not a good thing,
Mhm.
especially when you're under a contract. But I don't want to be a person where I'm just pushing books just to push it out. I'd rather it be
Ex-
authentic. You feel it from my heart.
exactly. Exactly. And it isn't funny how it's funny how characters just speak to you and then the book just flows. Like how you say you wrote that in a month. Like they were speaking to you. It was just flowing out.
They're speaking to me hard. Oh God,
Yeah.
especially my female character who was like me when I was in high school. Very
Mhm.
like outgoing, but at the same time had her own insecurities.
Mhm.
So it definitely spoke to me that way. Um, so I saw that this is the Sun series. We're on book 2. Do you plan to do any more Sun series, or this is going to be the only 2? You're going to go from another book?
No, so Mo's story is next. So Dominic's best friend Mo, his book will be next.
Oh, I got it. Ooh, I got it. Okay, this is how this happens. Because if I'm being honest, Mo was not my favorite character. I mean, I liked him more than I did Autumn.
Understandable. Understandable.
But that scene when they were waiting on Dominic to get out of jail, and he was talking mad cash to the point where Chloe, in my opinion, was stupid as hell. Because I wasn't gonna be in. I got you. Don't think he was waiting
Okay.
to get him to get out, and she basically like sat on the top of the hood while the sun was baking. I understood.
Yes.
I understood what he meant. But at the same time, that is your homeboy's decision. Just like with Autumn. I
Exactly.
understood where Autumn was coming from. I did. But having those doubts and having basically saying negative stuff towards her every 5 minutes was bullshit.
Exactly. Mo definitely is not a fan favorite. Definitely not a fan favorite. But I'm hoping, with his story, I think, they'll grow up to love him because, he has his own story to tell. So he definitely wasn't a fan favorite. He was right there next to Autumn as far as most hated characters.
Like, Jesus. Like I understand where you're coming from. I get it. Even in the end game, when he was still out in the streets, and Dominic was just like, bro, like I love you, don't get me wrong, but I can't be living how you live no more.
Right, right. Dominic's whole thinking was like, hey, I have this opportunity. Like, I'm telling you, come on the road with me. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to do all this right now. But, Mo was very prideful. So and we don't even really see most or read about most character, I guess, directly in the end game. We get just kind of the backstory of what's going on, and then, tragedy strikes or whatever. But, basically it seems as if Mo's prideful, he doesn't want to take any handouts. He doesn't want anybody giving him anything like that. He feels like he needs to work for his own. He doesn't want to go on tour with Dominic and all that.
I will say, this is my thoughts on the next book.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that after what happened to Mo in the end game,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to get a revelation to stop doing what he's doing. I don't think he's going to continue to live the way he was living after what happened to him.
Mm-hmm. It's
That's
a
just
possibility.
that's
It's a
not
possibility.
that's my prediction. I don't think he's going to, especially after what he went through.
Yes,
And,
very traumatic.
and
Very
he's
traumatic
still
experience.
alive to tell the story of what he
Yes.
went through.
Definitely life changing, and that's why I felt he definitely needed his own story. Like, is yeah. So life changing event, traumatic. I definitely agree with you.
I don't think Mo is going to live to. Granted, now the way you ended the end game, I kind of felt in my heart that it was going to pick off from like another book because you ended it too. How can I say this without? You ended it with the cliffhanger.
I know, and I hated
And,
it. I really didn't want to, but I had to.
and I am. I feel as if I'm like the how can I, what's the word I'm looking for? The advocate when it comes to cliffhangers. I hate them. I hate them.
Okay, let me explain. In my defense, it was a bit of a cliffhanger. Now, I do feel like everybody did get there happily ever after for now. Jade and Josiah, they got their happy ending. Chloe and Dominic, they're still together. They're still together. They're having their rough patch.
Pause. Still together for now. Because I think Chloe, I feel as if also we're going to have a little more of an instance when it comes to Chloe and Dom. Granted, I do believe as of right now, it hasn't officially hit Chloe. But when you get into the third book, I feel as if she's going to have some type of PTSD from the situation when all of them are together.
Right, because Dominic was explaining that to Josiah. He was like, people are never the same after stuff like that happens because he has firsthand experience. All of them do. Him and Josiah already have that firsthand experience. So he's like, she's not gonna ever be the same, even though she didn't get directly hit, but she was there. She experienced that. That's gonna live with her for the rest of her life, and that's on his conscience. But the ending, I really had to be realistic. I didn't want to end on the cliffhanger, but I had to be realistic about it. Because I mean, something like that, for that to happen to three people and for it to not have any type of effect, it was unrealistic to me. So I was like, I have to incorporate that somehow because after an event like that, Dominic, he's gonna put that wall back up like, you want to leave the house and go do this and do that, but this has happened. I can't let you leave without a fight because I'm paranoid now.
Yeah, both of them was just like, and I loved how Dom was just like, I can't lose her. And he really felt like this was going to break after all the shit he done put her through, he really felt like this was going to break the Campbell's back. Like, but he was saying, I can't lose her. I can't lose her. And I really hope deep down he doesn't lose her because I feel as if he does, he's going to snap. And there's not going to be any fixing to that snap if she does leave.
And Claudia, she knows that what his mindset is, and she knows it's a dangerous type of mindset to have because she recognized that in Saving Sunflower whenever he was in jail and he told her, you're the only thing that I look forward to. And in her head, that was a red flag to her because he shouldn't live that way. Yep. You should have other things to look forward to besides just me. You have to have a world outside of me that's not healthy. So she recognizes those things. But also in the end game too, she fought as well. She was traumatized, but she told Jade, she said, he's broken. He thinks, that I'm the only person that can fix him, but I don't want to fix him, because it's not her job to do that. She said, I said I wouldn't leave him. I'm not going to, So she fought too. I'll give her that. But like you say, it hasn't really hit her yet, realistically. That, it's that trauma. They're like, right now, it's kind of like the beginning stages of it.
Yes, I honestly think she's in denial of it, of what happened. Like, she's like, it happened, but I haven't really sat down with it because even Jade caught on sometime, like caught on like some tidbits of it. Jade was just like in the kitchen at the kitchen scene. She was just like she was plastering her face while she saw the brokenness in Chloe while Dominic and Josiah just went around like nothing happened. Like it was like another like a normal day.
Because him and Josiah, they're used to stuff like that happening.
Yeah.
That's the type of life that they've lived. So They know things like that, they're bound to happen. And when they happen, all they could do is kind of try to process a little bit, maybe, but they also do a lot of self-medicating. So they smoke a lot of weed, they're going to drink a little bit, and they're going to get over it. But Chloe, she doesn't know how to process things like that, So she's in the kitchen in a daze cooking breakfast, and Jade is recognizing, like, okay, this isn't normal,
You got Dominic, who is what I think her husband at the time, or fiance, who is oblivious to it. And that's the scary part.
Right, and I think he's not so much oblivious, but I think he knows deep down inside, that that's not how things should go. But he's holding on to that, like, I can't lose her type of thing. So him and Josiah kind of just, trying to handle her, with care, like trying to gloss over, what happened, because they know Chloe is so naive and she's so fragile too.
She was very, very, very. But like I said, she was very naive in Sunflower, but at the same time, she definitely, I feel as if she grew in the end game, because when they were at the in her, like, in the bed scene when Josiah and thing were at the club, and she was just asking, she was asking things like, how did you handle Dom? Because I'm kind of going through the same thing with Josiah, and she was giving her like real life advice. She was like, all you gotta do is just be there.
Yeah, and I'm glad you recognize that.
So I feel as if she gave her advice, even at towards the end of the scene when they were at the dinner, and she was just thinking like, damn, like I wish Claudette was here to give me some advice about how to get through this.
Yes, because Claudette's motto is like, as long as y'all are trying, that's all you can do is try.
Yeah. I also think another thing in my head, I feel like Brandon is going to realize what he did or what he's doing. They're going to try to come back, because they always come back.
Come back as in try to get back with Jade, or just come back, period?
Both. I honestly feel that way. Because he's one of those type of dudes that's like I said before, if I can't have you, nobody can. And the fact that he's actually seeing, Josiah be there for his daughter when he should be there, loving on Jade. When, at 1 minute he was, and then when she found out she was pregnant, he basically dipped. I feel as if he is going to like see something that he's not gonna like. And at the same time, like, who knows? Maybe his fat brothers are basically getting on his ass about, not being the father that he needs to be. We don't know.
True. We definitely don't know. Who knows what's going on in Brandon's head?
Because as a frat brother, and this is my personal opinion, because I'm in a sorority myself, and I got friends that are that in different fraternities. If I saw my line brother or frat brother have a child and you're not doing nothing to that child, I'm gonna call your ass out on that shit. Because as your brother, I need to do that.
Exactly. And you have some people who have friends like that, and then I've noticed you have some people who have friends who won't. They feel like it's not even their business, so they kind of just watch, and they'll talk about it to other people, but they won't say it to your face. I've noticed that too.
I don't need a friend like that.
That means you're a good friend. Because if I was in the same position, I would call him out too. I would be like, you have a child, you take care of your child. What are you doing?
Because you don't want the other nigga, you don't want the next nigga, your child, you know what I'm saying? You don't want your child calling the next nigga daddy. Oh, well, my bad, too late. She's already doing that.
Yep. And poor Journey, like my heart really broke writing a lot of the stuff that happened, because I feel like this is stuff that happens on a daily basis. Like we talk about it, but then it's different when you read about it, I guess, in fiction too, because it's such a common thing, like him not being there for Journey. And she at the beginning, she didn't even really recognize his voice on the phone,
Nope.
He sitting there cursing out Jade for something that happened at a party that's insignificant when his child is there. And so she's calling Journey over to the phone, and Journey, she doesn't even recognize his voice. She's just repeating after Jade, you know, and after Brandon. And then after a while, she kind of just leaves the phone because she doesn't know who he is.
Like, there's nothing else to say. And then, like, the park scene, when he tried to be there and she kept saying, no, I don't know you, bro. You're not my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, but I love the fact that Josiah was just like, I still tell her about Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe one day he might get his act together, and I don't want her to go through the same thing I went through or the same thing that Jade went through. I love that.
Yes, and that definitely speaks on Josiah's character, because he definitely could have been a bitter person and not even acknowledge Brandon and not even try to explain to Journey, who's still too young to even realize what's going on. But like you said, when she gets older, she'll realize it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to be that person that was speaking badly about Brandon. I'll explain to her that's who he is. He may come around sometimes. Let him come around.
Yes, because that's what my sperm donor did. My sperm donor, but that's what my dad did to me. When I was younger, my dad was in my life. My dad, who's now my dad, my stepdad back home, my dad, because he's been in my life since the age of 2. So I've been with that, having another man step up to the plate when your own father couldn't do it.
Right.
So
definitely.
And that's why my heart went out to her, because I've been in her position. But at the same time, as I got older and started seeing my sperm donor, for his true colors, my dad never out once, talk bad about him or anything. He was like, if you want to make that connection, you can. Like, you're grown. That's not going to change the fact that I was raising you ever since you were 2 years old.
Right. And that shows he has such a good character,
Very, very much so. And I appreciate him and love him every day because of it. But like I said, there's a lot of things in my head now that I'm like, now that we're talking about, like, I wonder how this is going to play out, how this is going to do this and that. But I'm excited to see how this Josiah, not Josiah, but this Mo book turns out.
Yes.
Because he wasn't my favorite character. I'm not gonna lie and say he wasn't. But I feel as if you're gonna make us love him.
I definitely hope so. That's the hope, There's definitely hope. I feel like Mo, now that I've started writing him, he's such an interesting character. So I can't wait to expand on that. He's different.
Yeah, I feel as if you're like, we're going to love him a lot. So after that, but do you have any? So do you have any books after the Mo one, or are you just going to just do 3 books for the year? Like, what are your plans for 2021?
Listen, the way my brain works, right now, what I can see is finishing up Mo's story, and then who knows where I'll go after that. I definitely not a plotting type of person. I kind of just go with the flow, and whoever comes to me, that's whose story I'll tell. Because at first I wasn't even gonna tell Mo's story, but then it was something, I don't know. It was just one day I kind of just woke up and I was like, you know what? I was like, I need to give him a story, because I feel like he would just definitely be an interesting character, to center a story around. So, and as I'm writing and it's flowing out, definitely it was a good decision. I'm definitely not a plotter though. So it could be one more book in the Sun series. I know a lot of people really, really want like a Saving Sunflower 2 centered around Claudette and Dominic, but I don't want to force it.
Yeah.
So I like how it is now, where they're still a part of the story. Like, they haven't went anywhere, I don't want to force a whole entire book just about them, But I understand, people, when you have characters that you love, you want to continue reading about them. But, I'm the type, whenever I feel like characters have spoken their piece and they've gotten they're happy or whatever, happily ever after, however that ends up, then that's that. But I definitely like how it is now, where I've intertwined them in the end game, and they'll be in Mo's story as well, because as long as I'm writing the Sun series, they're going to be somewhere in there, because you have to remember Dominique is like the sun. He's the center of it all. So
And then of course, Dom and Mo are best friends, so of course he was going to be in there.
Exactly. Definitely best friends.
So and I also like I said, even though I didn't like Dom, not Dom, but Mo in Saving Sunflower, especially what he did to Claudette, I feel as if like she said too, like I think it was Dom that said it to Josiah once she had the baby. I think that's when that their bond became a little bit closer.
Yeah, that was Josiah's observation. How they're closer now. That they bicker more like brother and sister. It's not like how it was in the beginning. And also in Saving Sunflower, Mo was the one who called Dominic out about actually being in love with Claudette after Diane did.
That's very true, and he did deny it like crazy.
Yeah, definitely. When Dominique was out of his mind and acting a fool, and Mo was like, "Look, this is what it is. Either accept what I got to say or whatever. But I'm gonna have your back regardless if I like Claudette or not, because you're obviously in love." So.
And I feel as if that's what happened when it came to Autumn and Claudette too, because when she found out she was pregnant, and Claudette finally spoke up for herself and told her how she felt.
Mm-hmm.
And Claudette, Autumn was like, okay, yeah, you know what, I deserve that. I apologize for making you feel that way, but I'm just looking out for you. But whatever you do decide, whether you keep it or not, I'm going to be there regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So even though I didn't hate her, I had to respect that scene because that was some G shit. I would have been
right.
Like I was like, I can't stand that nigga, but you love him. I like it. You want to have his baby, I'm there with you every step of the way.
Right, because realistically, I mean, we all have friends like Autumn and Mo. Like their actions, you want to say, "Oh, I hate that they said this," or "I hate that they said that," but realistically, I've been that friend before. I'm like, "Girl, what are you doing? Like, stop it for real." Because realistically, in Saving Sunflower, I would have definitely been Autumn. I would have been like, "Sit down somewhere for real, Claudette."
But I think everybody's had that one friend like that though.
Yes.
That one friend that's like, you know what, I don't like how you move, but if you like it, I love it. I just gotta respect you and move on.
Exactly. Because Autumn, she was coming from a place of love. She had her own traumatic experience, and really and truly, she just didn't want Claudette to go through that too. So her delivery was horrible, but that was the realistic part of her character. We're not all perfect. So, and she was young, so that's the only way she figured she could get her point across.
Yep, for sure. But like I said before, guys, if you have not read her first book, Saving Sunflower, you are doing yourself a disservice because that book is everywhere. It is one of the hottest books of 2020, in my personal opinion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The end game that just came out today is another excellent, definitely another hit in her hands, in my personal opinion. Highly recommend it. Thank you. Bookworm. And I'm ready for this Mo story and all the other ones you do have lined up. You do have a fan for life now.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I am a pest. People can tell you. when I say I'm a fan, I am a pest fan. Like, I'm a fan that will have read scenes and then tag you on whatever I find. Like I follow you at him. Like, bro, why did you do what you did?
I welcome it all. I love it. I'm
that type of fan. I hope my fans could be like that to me too.
Of course. And I can't wait to read what you have coming out. I'm definitely excited for you because this is such an exciting journey. Like it's a journey like no other, let me tell you. So I'm super excited for you and that you get to experience this. Like it's super
cool. Question. My last question actually. For somebody like me that's coming out with a book release, what did you do to get your jitters out? Because I've been having, ever since I've got the release date, I've been getting jitters all week. I've been nervous all last week. I was nervous because I think it was because of that, and then I just got my driver's license that Friday too, Friday as well. So the nervousness of that already, I was already nervous for the week, and then them telling me, "Oh yeah, your book, so your book is coming out Monday, huh?" So
I'm just spraying it on you.
Yeah, and then so having all of that all of like those numbers is like all those numbers is combined, and then like having the playlist out, having the book cover out, which got really really good reviews. People telling me congratulations, they can't read it. I got my family telling me, yo, I can't wait to read this. Like I'm buying like blah blah blah. People that I don't even know, like my publishing sisters. I think three of them, did like giveaways in their in their group, saying that they were going to give my book away to people. I had a girl today, shout out to Portia Shaw, who wrote me this morning and was like, hey, so I'll be giving away 5 copies of your book. How should I do it?
Oh wow.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, like, huh? I was like, just a regular, add, go to my group, sign up my mailing list, follow me on YouTube, the regular site.
Yes, that's definitely cool. That's so cool.
I was like, 5 copies? And the book's not even out yet. I had my family like call my mom and dad. They came in my room knocking on my door. What's the name of your book, Kim? What's the name of your book, Kim? When it comes out? I was like, so how did you, like, when saving stuff, like you said before, you didn't think saving stuff forever was going to get the recognition that it did. So when you first wrote it, you say you wrote it a year ago, and when you got done and you read the final copy, and you pushed the publish button, what was your what was going through your mind during that time, and how did you kind of not really window on the reviews and the ratings and stuff?
Girl, I wish I had the perfect advice to give you, but I don't, because the jitters are here. They won't go away. I don't know how to get rid of them. It's like they just there. It's something that I'm trying to break myself out of, and I definitely don't know how. I feel like maybe, this is a maybe staying, after you hit the publish button, trying to force yourself away from social media and stuff like that and just let it be, and then come back and regroup maybe in a day or two, and then go through and read, the reception and everything. It's easier said than done. I'll tell you that. But even still today, this is my second one. I'm still I have jitters. With Saving Sunflower, I came out of the gate. I'm not signed to a publishing company, so it was kind of just a thing that I did, on my own. So I didn't have any readers at first. So I was jittery because, I had accomplished this goal that I set out to accomplish. And I did it, and I finished it, and I hit publish. And then I was like, well, now what? Now I have to go find somebody to read it. So that's kind of where the jitters came from when I first published. And then whenever people started reading it and then reviews started coming in, that was a different type of jitters coming in. So definitely just try to stay grounded. And I would say try to step away from social media and stuff, because people are going to be super excited, and you're going to feel their excitement through whatever means, through the telephone, whatever. And it's just going to keep you on 100. But if your book is coming out tomorrow, so I can guarantee you won't sleep tonight.
Oh, don't tell me. I gotta work in the morning. No.
I'm sorry to have to break the news to you, but you won't.
But I know one thing that one of my publishers, shout out to Abby Payne, she told me, she was in a live for the heartfelt group, and I asked her the same question, and she was just like, if you don't feel jitters every time you release a book, then your heart's not in it.
Oh wow, that's a perfect answer. Definitely perfect.
And I was like, damn, that's deep.
Yes.
I was like, damn.
Hit the nail on the head. Definitely.
Yeah, because I was just like, this is a dream of mine that I wanted for the longest. You know what I'm saying? When I wrote my first book, Life of E, that I'm still it honestly, to be honest with you, it's still in the works. I'm not even halfway done with that book yet. But because I have to change so many things. Now I definitely have to go back and change a lot of things up now. Because that might be maybe my 3rd or 4th book probably to post out this year. I do want it out this year for sure. But I know I'm going to have to go back and change a lot. Because in this book, in the book before, in the first one, the actual book, they weren't together yet. They were just friends in college. always had like that. They were like the what if couple. Like, what if they actually did get together? In the book that's coming out tomorrow, they're already together. So I have to kind of maybe do like probably some flashbacks, flash forwards to keep the same like the same material in, but also try to push up, live it forward, like more flashbacks than actually like flashbacks and current events to like kind of make sure both books in.
I got you. Right.
It gotta make sense to understand it more. But like I said, I never thought in million years I'll get to where I'm at now. You know, like I said before, when I wrote my last post about the book, I was just like, I used to go on Amazon. I still go on Amazon now and pick out books like, let me see how this book goes, this, and that. And now people from all over the world can just type in my pen name, and boom, my book comes up.
And it comes up. Definitely mind blowing. Definitely. That's why I say you definitely won't sleep tonight. It's gonna be on your mind.
It's just like when people see my book, like, oh, that's
it's
neat.
Scary and exciting all at once.
Yeah, like I was like, I could go on my Kindle tomorrow when I get off from work and type in my name, and boom, that's my book. Boom, that's
for real.
And I'm like, oh my God. I wrote a book. I'm a published author that I can actually tell people that. Like, I have a podcast, yes. That I have a YouTube channel, yes. And now I have my third baby, which is my book.
Yes, it'll feel weird saying that you're an author. Like telling people, I'm an author is definitely gonna feel weird. And then of course when you start getting your reviews and you go on Amazon, you have reviews.
Lord. Listen, Rae, I don't even want to think about my reviews. That's the scary part. That is the scary. I think that's the most scared. I think that is where I'm going to really be scared at.
Yes, it's definitely a whole to be.
Because as an avid reader, I know how brutal we can get.
Yes. And whenever it's your art, you get so protective over it. And it's just like, you don't want to be that person, but then you like, it's my art though. Like, why are you tearing my stuff up like this? Like, this came from the heart.
I'm the type of person to be like, you say something about my stuff, I'm Erica Badu, I'm sensitive about my shit.
Yes, exactly. I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my shit. Yes. Definitely.
And I know, like, people who know me know how reckless my mouth can actually get. So I'm just like, I think that's if I had to say anything, not even me coming out published or whatever, I think when I get that, once the reviews start coming in, that's when I'm gonna get really like agitated. Like, and I even say agitated, just nervous, because I know how readers can get, because I was a reader before I was an author.
Yes, it's scary, and then that's when you have to kind of, as an author, I feel like you're held to a different standard, if that makes sense. So, the reader will respond, any type of way, but the author you'll see something, you'll see somebody say something about your work and you want to respond so bad, but you can't.
Yes.
Because then people are going to say, that's unprofessional, you can't say that, you can't do that, it'll deter readers from your work. So it's definitely a hard line not to cross. You read stuff and you're like, I really want to say something to this person, like this really made me mad, but you can't do it
right now through my phone. But at the same time, I got to keep it professional because I know I can't.
Yep, exactly. It's hard. It's hard.
I think that's where like about 75% of my nerves are coming from.
Yes, definitely.
Just
that reception.
Just the reaction.
Yes, because you're gonna want to know, what the reception is. So you're gonna check, of course, for the reviews. And then when you see you have reviews, then it's a whole nother thing. You're gonna get real jittery because you're like, okay, should I read them or should I not read them? Then you read them.
Exactly. Even like before I even got signed, when I was working on this book, I was saying to my friends, like, hey, like, I need your like honest opinion. What do you think about this scene? And even when they would say I liked it, it was like a but. I was like, hold up. I asked your opinion. Tell me what you thought about it.
Yes. Doesn't your heart just starts to break? Like you just feel your heart starts pounding. You like, oh Lord, what didn't they like? What didn't they like?
So I think what I'm gonna do tomorrow, honestly, I think that I am probably once I probably say it's posted, I probably just drop the link. And probably even I probably even look at my phone all day tomorrow. Where, to be honest, I'll probably check up on it every now and then, but like constantly be on my phone, I probably won't even do that tomorrow.
To preserve your sanity, I
Yes.
think that's the route to take. But hopefully you're not me. You know, I try to say that, oh, I'm not gonna check my phone, I'm not gonna check anything, and then I just end up checking it, and it's just like, huh.
So I think tomorrow, I think I'm honestly going to keep myself busy and move around and try not to be on my phone nowhere tomorrow unless I really have to be.
Definitely try it out, and I'm definitely gonna do the same thing. It's nerve wracking.
It is nerve wracking. It's super nerve wracking, and then you want to, because like you said before, when you write and when you put stuff out, I feel that's every author puts their best all into it. Granted,
Exactly.
you do have some writers that are lazy, and
True, and burnt out too.
Yeah, and they want to put a book out just to say they put a book out.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me is bullshit, because if you're going to put a book out and you want your art and you want your readers to stay with you, put your all into it. Just don't put
Exactly.
a book out to say you put a book out and then you get upset when it's not the response you were looking for.
Exactly. Because if you don't put your all into it, when people read it, they can tell.
Exactly.
You know, it's not going to touch them. You know, they can tell you just did it just to do it. And that's when you have to take a step back and be like, okay, I obviously need to take some time to myself and regroup and come back with whenever I get inspired. So that's why I say it's two sides of the coin. You know, you want to be consistent with your writing, but you also have to feel it. So it's hard, you know, when you're writing just when you're inspired, because things don't happen as quickly. But to me, that's when the best stories happen. So
yeah, I definitely agree with that one for sure. For sure. But I just want to say thank you for allowing me to interview you.
thank you for having me. I enjoyed it so much.
No problem. I definitely don't be surprised if I write you back later this year. Talk about this notebook.
Yes.
Because it's definitely coming. Definitely coming. I'm gonna have B. Reed. She is the author of Lies by the Gun. She was my second author spotlight.
Yes, I love B. Reed.
Yes, I'll be having her. I told her already, because she's like my big sis. I already told her. So I got her book should be coming soon. I think sometime this week or whatever. I had a notification saying that it should be coming soon. I told her, don't be surprised if I hit you back up asking so we can talk about this Broken Mirrors book. Don't be surprised, because the way she did Lies by the Gun, that cliffhanger at the end, that
you know what?
Had me hot.
I ordered Smoke and Mirrors, and I haven't finished Lies by the Gun. So I have to finish that.
That ain't even going to
Is it? Oh, Lord.
I'm letting you know right now.
When I tell you my to-read list is so long right now, because I didn't read for a year while I was writing Saving Sunflower, so I'm so behind. I have so many stories that I have to read and catch up on. Like, I'm drowning in book 3, which is exciting.
Yes, like I said, it's going to make you mad. And I was just like, I read it, and I was like, I know that's not it. I was like, I know. She ain't gonna do me like this.
She got you.
I was just like this. And I hate cliffhangers. I hate them because
you definitely say you hate a cliffhanger.
I hate a cliffhanger. Ashley Antoinette, I love you, sis. I love you. You are my favorite author. I love you, girl. But God damn it, Butterfly 3 had me with yet another cliffhanger, and now I got to get Butterfly 4 to see how the book. And I was like, damn it, you know how to get my money. But it's worth it because it's so good, and because you get so intertwined with the characters, and you feel the characters, and you want to know what's next.
You get into it, and now it's just like you stuck. You have to keep going because you have to see it out. You have to see the completion.
Exactly. Like I got all the cartels by her and her husband, Jaquavis. Like I said, that was the first book I ever really got into when it came to them. And I read all of their books, even have like the 2 spinoffs. I could read all of their books. Like I could read the whole collection over again except book 7. I will never touch book. I will never, ever, ever in my life touch book 7 again
Oh.
because it made me cry like a baby.
Oh. That's how you know it was good. When you shed those tears, that's how you know.
Like my mom came and actually thought like somebody, like a friend of mine died. That's how
Oh,
bad I
did
was
she?
crying. Yes. She was like,
So you
"What's
were like
wrong?"
boo-hooing.
Yeah, I was boohooing. I was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Are you crying over a book?" I said, "Leave me."
She was like, this girl is crying over a book.
So I even told her that I said I will never ever touch book 7 again. I can't. Mom, even though it's been like a couple of years since that book came out, I cannot touch that book again. I can tell
That
you what
speaks
it's
to how
about.
good it was, though.
Yeah, I can tell you what it's about and what happened, but
hmm
actually to read that, no, not doing it. Sorry, not doing it. But thank you once again. I appreciate it. Guys, follow her at Rae Lyse Books on Instagram. Make sure you go and get Saving Sunflower, which is the first of the Sun series. Her new book that just came out, The Endgame, which is the second book, and then the third one when it comes out very, very soon. Also, follow me at K the Bookworm _ on Instagram and Twitter. Arthur K Renee at on Instagram and Twitter as well. Definitely, like I said before, when you guys listen to this, my book Close to You will already be out on Amazon Kindle.
Yay!
So shout out to me. Uh, and
Yeah,
then
super exciting.
Yes, and then I'll come back on here to let you guys know when the paperback is available. I know like most likely are going to be asking for paperback than Kindle. But if you do have a Kindle or you have Kindle app on your phone, please support, please support it on Amazon Kindle first, and then the paperback. I promise you, I put my all into this. It is definitely different. It is a young adult Black love romance set in the high school, set in a fictional town that I created, Jones Hills, North Carolina. It tells the story of two high school seniors, Anthony Henderson, who is the younger brother of a football player, big megastar Jarrell Henderson, and the son of a all-time winning back-to-back championship father at his high school, Somerville High School. And the pressures of him, as well as Michelle Sweet, who is a very outgoing yet shy girl who has her own insecurities, plus a person in her past comes back to visit after not wanting to see her for 2 years at her request. So definitely just love my characters like I love them. Those are my babies. They irk my nerves sometimes, but I love them dead. And yeah, guys, so until next time, have faith, have confidence, love you, always, always be you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.